this section of health and digitization. Reza Chowdhury, dear colleague, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Pranam to our beloved Jagadguru Swamiji, and my heartfelt congratulations to His Excellency Dr. Bose on his new position. And my namaskar to all the members, those who are participating, and all the ministers. I thank each and every one of you, and also our organizers. I wanted to speak about digital medicine, but I think our member Dr. Kimberly Davis will be speaking about it. And I had a brief discussion with her. And I think the most important part is basically during the digitization, we do not lose the humanity. And Swamiji speaks continuously about consciousness and inner and outer existence that we cannot separate. And I think that this is something we have to be very, very aware of. I strongly believe that during this dispensation, Swamiji is a light to the world, and we need to bring his teachings everywhere we can. And at this time, I would like to propose that we start initiating the work for setting up a Isa Vishwa Prajna Trust Center in Washington, D.C., and name it in honor of Lady Carla Davis for her work for our organization and for her devotion for Swamiji. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity. I wanted to stay longer, but unfortunately I have to be leaving. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. I very much acknowledge and appreciate your suggestion to have the center in Washington, D.C., to have a well-known center from where we can spread out the word of the Swami Isha. That's a very, very good idea. So if there's anybody else who wants to support this idea, they may have the phone or the floor. May raise the hand. Mira has risen the hand. Mira.
I would like to second the motion to establish an Isha Vishwa Pragnana Trust Center in Washington, D.C. with the name of the Lady Carla Davis Center. And I thank Dr. Reza Chowdhury very much for the suggestion. And we also request him to act as the head of such a center in Washington, D.C.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mira. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Reza Chowdhury. So we can continue in our program, and I would like to ask Kimberly Davis, who was already mentioned by you, Reza, to give her suggestion.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be addressing the Global Parliament and in the presence of Swamiji. I take this time to second the motion as well to name the center in the name of Lady Carla Davis. I know of no one with greater passion for truth and promoting knowledge. I'm honored and was invited to share some thoughts about how digital world affects medicine. I'm a family practice physician and have worked in my career in multiple settings: hospital, skilled nursing, subacute care, hospice care, and integrative medicine. And as I have worked in these settings, have seen the impact of computers, using them both for benefit as well as detriment to my patients. In my practice, I have seen electronic medical records become standard, which has then taken away connection that physicians have had to patients because their head is down typing. trying to capture information in short periods of time, and yet at the same time have seen these records transferred between facilities that have allowed for sharing of information. I second the motion that the information you put into an algorithm and put into a system given to artificial intelligence provides the quality that can come out of the system. And have seen regularly that this information has helped me guide my practice. I'm an osteopathic physician and chose to work in the cranial sacral field. One of my mentors teaching me said, at some point in the future of family medicine, you'll be replaced by an algorithm. Everything that can be done in primary care can be done better by a computer. So focus your energy on something a computer cannot do. As I thought about this guided me to develop ways of feeling and using my hands. But also I would suggest and present, as we've talked about, the importance of being human, that we use all of our senses. When we speak with a patient, I not only listen to my patient, I listen to their voice, their cadence, their strength, their body language, feel their emotions and their energy surrounding them. The vocabulary Swamiji introduced today would be objective listening and subjective listening. As we continue to develop our senses and use digitalization to go through mass quantities of data, the balance in this process is being able to connect to our subjective listening, our pranic connection to our patients, this human full feeling. I have found that telemedicine takes the art of medicine from a three-dimensional, multi-dimensional focus and puts it onto a flat two-dimensional screen. In this setting, it's very easy to receive misinformation as we're not sitting and communicating heart to heart crossed from each other. So a suggestion to the global community is to focus on training physicians and training medical providers how to connect on a soul level. When Swamiji addressed us at the very beginning of this conference, he came onto the screen and sat in silence. And in that silence, I felt my heart swell and a smile come to my face. I felt joy. I felt consciousness flowing. It's this consciousness, the connection that can happen, I feel is one of the most important ways that we in healthcare can connect with our patients. There's great access to care through telemedicine. There's great ability for data crunching, but we must balance this with active listening, with sharing energy. There can be no substitute for sitting in person with someone. But yet, if we know that we are divine beings with multidimensional consciousness, we know that we can connect with one another. That distance and time is only limits to our mental status and not to what can be done through compassion. So my suggestion to the Global Council is one of education, to teach doctors how to balance the massive process of data that we are constantly swimming through and step to our subjective stillness and find peace and happiness and have this spread as we try and protect and help our patients. By doing so, my prayer is that this is a gift of listening, a gift of connection that will strengthen and alleviate pain. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, dear colleague. I'd like to respond myself because I'm involved in this. I'm a very much friend of talking medicine. Yes. And it's different to sit next to a person or just talk to a person. And in German, and I'd like to address the huge area of German people here in this global parliament. So herzlich willkommen, alle deutsch sprechenden Leute here. So we are in German, we have two words for listening. The one is listen, just listen. and the other one is listen to a person. So you have to focus on the person and not just ears. And I think this is what you said, sort of focus on the person and get it, the entire person involved, and not just talking communication things. Thank you so much. I definitely second you in your submission, in your proposal. Any other person who wants to talk, to speak? Bruce, you raised your hand, please.
Thank you very much. Once more, I want to appreciate being here, and I want to second the motion, because as an integrative medical officer and a member of the West African College of Physicians, domiciled integrative medicine in family medicine, I've had the opportunity of working with a lot of people in this field, and I totally agree with my colleague in what she said. I think having used telemedicine both here in Nigeria to reach out to most of my patients and clients overseas, I think connecting, I find the statement she said that connecting on a soul level, I think that's a unique statement I want to take home today. So I want to second this motion, and I want to thank her very much for it. Thank you.
Thank you for this excellent contribution. We have one submission by Elizabeth Sherly, and she's touching the topic of culture.
Honorable Sir, Professor Elizabeth Sherly is our guest speaker, so I would like to introduce her. Professor Dr. Elizabeth Sherly is the Director of Digital University of Kerala and the Director of International Centre for Free and Open Source Software, Government of Kerala. In a career spanning more than 3 decades in teaching and research, she has gathered expertise in pattern recognition, natural language processing, automatic speech recognition system, and medical image processing. She is actively working on promoting virtual learning system with a pedagogy model of technology-enhanced learning to the educational community.
Thank you very much for this introduction. Dear colleague.
Thank you for the introduction, and can you allow me to share my slides? So I'm really honored for delivering a talk today in this in the Global Energy Parliament, and of course with the presence of Swamiji and all the distinguished members of the GEP. And in fact, I just talk about digital transformation in culture and some insights into the digitization of culture to maintain the human, the humanity, all these concepts of GEP also. So this is in fact, you know, that's it is a role model. It can be, of course, a role model for a creator, digital creator of an economy which can foster a community, relationships, and targeting a specific audience who are struggling to build their space. So alignment with the mission of that DUK, that is the Digital University of Kerala, which is actually promoting the quality education by leveraging the digital technologies through education, research, and application. And in fact, the GEP, the holistic solution for a sustainable and peaceful work. But if that itself is aligned with the mission of SDG, where the it's called number 4 for quality education, they ensure inclusive and equitable quality education through proper learning opportunities for all, and also peace, justice, and inclusion, where promote peaceful and inclusive societies and provide access to justice and to build an effective and accountable and inclusive institutions in all levels. So this is all sustainable development goal that we all are targeting it into that unique and very conducive in nature, where what we are looking here is a digital transformation in culture for a sustainable heritage through indigenous linkages, where as most of you know that we have tangible and intangible products. Tangibly talk about the physical artifacts and the human creativity, which has got a significance in the society. At the same time, intangible, it is all of practices, representations, and expressions, knowledge, where actually we find it, which challenges we have to, just take that as knowledge into that. So here, so this all the word, the planet, this all have a linkage where we can see their dance in some other areas, it's the costumes or some vocal music and people and the words, it's all are connected. So a cultural heritage, it is actually a source of cultural diversity and a driver for the sustainable development. So what is the rationale behind this, all these ideas? So digitization, if you talk about the every sector, we talked about the medicine, we talked about the agriculture, we talked about many sectors. But the thing is that, so these all are, we call it as some, an organized sectors. But here the challenge is that this is in fact the artisans and the crafts, they are coming from a non-farm rural economy, where even Kerala or India has got its own tradition and culture. But this is an unorganized and informal sector, and its market potential is untapped. So there actually it is very difficult to apply digitization. So, but there is a lot of potential, and creativity. Just you can do it for digitization, and it can take it back to the society, and a better heritage ecosystems can be built it into that. So due to industrialization, it has pushed back, but an effective and a competitive market and globalization is required. So that's why the deteriorating socioeconomic conditions of this and the skills have to be preserved to the younger generation also. So what all the digitization can do in these areas? So a lot of tacit knowledge, tacit knowledge, and the skills and answer the skills. How do we put it for the next generation, and how digitization can help it in that? So there are a lot of ways we can do it that, but this is in fact, it has got a lot of difficulty in getting information. So empowerment of a traditional art and crafts to improve the quality and productivity through marketing, through digitization and all. So digital, this is called, we have another field called a digital heritage, where we have an interdisciplinary area where you have arts, humanities, engineering, conservation, and digital sciences. This all is come together as a development of a digital sciences or a heritage sciences, and is a driver for change. This will, of course, socially, economically, and technically benefited to the society. So this is a kind of developing a digital narratives for the traditional skills and knowledge to understand the indigenous products. Social impacts and its analysis are very important. And there is a lot of, that it's a linear erosion of the traditional knowledge skills. And how do we tap this all knowledges and to preserve the skills is very important. Sorry, I have a bad throat. Research is also a main concern in that, and especially when we talk about the various materials and products we use it for the crafts or the heritage things, where, for example, the bamboo product that we use it, where the durability of the product or minimizing the deteriorations is all has to be considered for the scientific aspects of that. So this area is a multidisciplinary, a lot of effort with a lot of people, a lot of areas contribution is required for that. So new techniques, tools on digital sciences, and promote the research is also a part of that, and establish a market linkage to enhance branding to ensure the access of a credit. When you talk about the technology, technological impact, what all the same you have to do the digitalization. You can see a Tali Yola, we say it in Malayalam. So how this can be digitized, it can put it. It's very difficult. Some of the, fonts and the characters are only missing it. And how do we get it in a digitized form? And the products, our own products, how do we market our own products? And they're making so just like as a family, how many products are coming forward. So we need to have indigenous products, and this has to be marketed, and digital marketing is very important. This is the digital arts we are talking about, where arts is there. A lot of artificial intelligence component is required. Digital science is there. Technology is, of course, the major part of that. If we say take example of agriculture, how do it comes? There is something like a cognitive abilities. How do we capture the cognitive abilities? This all has to be come together for digital arts. And here, through this, enhance the adoption of the traditional art forms through digital intelligence systems. So this is the creator economy, and how traditional art forms can be preserved it and maintained it for the next generation. And for that, the application of digital technologies to be applied for a better richness for immersive experiences, virtual learning, virtual extended reality, virtual reality. This all has to be put in place. Virtual reality, virtual auditorium, immersive theater, display of art, this has to become. Another aspects that we are trying is to, come up with a digital arts school where it is like a training or a learning management system or a virtual platform where the creative arts and cultures can be learned it through the, experienced, artifacts and the students can learn it through virtual platforms. And digital mapping is very important, where how do we map it, whether it can be any art form or in industry-wise or a similar art form or SDG-based data. This can be a mapping of and documenting the art forms is very important. Phenomenology is one of the other things we need to look at. Just what I emphasize more is that they quantify the linear erosions of a traditional knowledge in arts and crafts work and preservation of that knowledge tradition skills through digitization. How do we popularize it? We can have blogs, websites, short videos, snippets, networking, etc., where we have events, symposium, workshops. And this all has to be come together to become a creator economy, where you can have a creative industries, where many visual arts, paintings, sculptures, literature and publishing, books and all, design, architectures, traditional knowledge, music, performing arts, etc., through which you can have entrepreneurship and also community clusters. You can build, they will also develop the products and all. This has to be marketed through the digital marketing and the e-commerce kind of sites. So as a UNESCO model, how this kind of can come together as a planet, people, prosperity, peace, and partnership. This is where our culture, the culture demands for that. So as an outcome, it comes as a societal and commercial needs of digital marketing, sustainable development in heritage, agriculture, and save earth, etc. Integration of a traditional art and crafts into the digital world enables to protect and strengthen the ecosystem for artisans. More people can have the accessibility of the products through the digital platform. This is like a social rejuvenation and secure and sustainable livelihood for the social impacts. So as a conclusion, respect for the diversity of cultures, tolerance, dialogue and cooperation in a climate of a mutual trust and understanding are among the best guarantees of international peace and security. That is something taken from the UNESCO. So this is all I just talk about the digital. The challenge is very high and is very extensive. Also, we need to prioritize what you have to digitize it and what are the artifacts or what are the art forms or what are the cultures. We have to select it first, where it can be in a vulnerable people or a vulnerable art forms also. So this, with all this, I just conclude my talk. Thank you very much. And once again, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk in front of all these auspicious audiences. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sherly, for this comprehensive contribution. Perfect match to this list of submissions. Thank you. So we are now at the end of the submissions part, and I'd like to ask Rohini to take over again and close the day one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With this, we have come to the end of the first day of 12th Global Energy Parliament. It was indeed a great informative session today. Dear